Hello, welcome to my BCIS computer class, BCIS 1305, and I want to give you a quick rundown of this course. If you see the course numbers varies a little bit, don't worry. I've been using the same video for several courses I'm teaching over the summer, but everything else will be exactly the same. First disclosure I want to give you is this is a summer course, which means it's very fast paced, very quick. So day one, I would suggest to you to get things done as soon as possible, because you don't want to get left behind. So if you don't have the time to dedicate some time every day, I would advise you to reconsider, or at least look at the timeline of the course to see if it fits into your schedule. I just want to get that quick disclosure because it is a fast-paced course, so things are moving very quickly. If any questions at all, be sure to email me. Let me know ASAP. I try to get back within 24 hours. Being this is a summer course, I'm going to try to get back with you as quick as possible. But keep that in mind that I would say if you don't hear from me within 24 hours, send another email saying that, hey, I sent this yesterday, want to follow up with you, make sure you got my email, whatever it may be, just so that we can stay in constant communication. So I don't want you to fall behind unnecessarily. Another thing, if you have any accommodations, be sure. Oh, my name is Professor Dobosky. I think I forgot to say that. But if you have any accommodations, be sure to reach out to me immediately with those accommodations are, so I know what they are, and I can plan accordingly. Because it's not retroactive. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, then it doesn't apply to you. But be sure to read the syllabus thoroughly. Since this is a online course, there's going to be a few differences between your regular courses, in-person courses. One being that it's online and it is at your own pace. So there's no official meeting time. I can set up office hours or chats whenever you like. Just let me know and I'll get with you as soon as possible. Those will most likely be over Teams, or you can send me an email. But I'm going to kind of jump into this course real quick, give you an overview of this. Be sure to look at the syllabus, look at the due dates. Let's hop right into it. So you should be able to see my screen right now. So we're in the course. If you click on content real quick, it's going to load. And you're going to see some things here on the left. You're going to want to click on MindTap and ebook access. And you click right here, it says click to open MindTap and ebook. So this is where most of the course is going to be on. So I'm going to go everything in Cengage first, then I'll go anything that's in eCampus last. When you click on that link, one of two things is going to happen. One is going to sign in automatically right now, or two is going to ask you to sign in. If you have an Cengage account, go ahead and sign in using that login. If you don't have one yet, go ahead and create one. Just keep in mind that whatever email you use to create this Cengage account is the one you're going to need to use for password resets. So be sure to use an email that you have access to, because otherwise, if you get locked out, I can't help you. I don't have access to reset passwords. Once you're in, it's going to look something like this. There's classes haven't started yet, so it's showing as nothing yet. This is going to be an overview of the course. So this is one way to see all your courses. It's broken down into sections: introduction to course, Windows, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Access, etc. and the final exam. That's one way to look at it. Everything's in order once you click down, and it has the due dates as well. Or another way to view this course is using the weekly calendar. It'll break it down by week, what is due. As you can see, there's 14 activities, and they're quite a bit. It is all the same material you would have in a full-length course. It's all smashed into just a few weeks. So it's not impossible to do, but I'm not going to say it's easy. It's just time-consuming. So keep that in mind. I mean, I've taught this several summer classes. Not many people, pretty much no one had any issues, as long as you came to the fact that you know you're going to have to work every day or every other day on something in this course. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm in. Let's open the ebook. Okay, so that works. Alright, the first assignment you'll see is an office skill quiz. Be sure to complete that. That's completion grade. Once completed, I'll go in and change your grade to 100. This is something that's great for you to do so you can see where you stand in the course. Don't fret. If you take this quiz or when you take this quiz, more likely you're not going to pass. Like I said, it's completion. You complete it, you're going to get 100 after I go and edit the grade. But I want you on day 1 to get a good idea of where you stand in this course. If you make an 80 on this, you're probably going to do minimal studying for this class. If you make a 20 on this, which don't fret, it is pretty common. That just means that, hey, you probably know more, less than you think you do about the Microsoft Suite, just because there's so much to know about it. We get into the actual main type of assignments now. The first thing to see is book. The ebook doesn't hurt your grade, doesn't help your grade. It is more for your reference. It is there. You can open it. I don't track whether you open it or not, whether you use it. But it is extra information out there. It has a little more details than some of the other stuff on here. So I'm getting back in Cengage. So you don't have to do those. The next ones you're going to see is the trainings. So if you click on a training, it's going to be very specific on how it works. Hopefully this time it works correctly. Here we go. Alright, so we hit start. Move this out the way. And it opens up a browser that is supposed to replicate the Microsoft Suite. So this is not actually Microsoft Word. Because of that, there are some quirks of the system that I'm going to go into a little bit here. But first, I want to show you how the trainings work. The training, the quizzes, and the tests are going to work in very similar ways. There are going to be some major differences. So the training is broken into 3 steps: the observe, practice, and apply. And you're going to have several tasks here. So on the observe, you're going to click on it.
Renaming a file from File Explorer saves time by not requiring the opening of another application.
So as you see, it's going to go into deep detail what you're doing, why you're doing it, how it's done. The full long-winded rundown of it. Practice is going to be more of a concise version. So it's going to tell you exactly what you need to know, and pretty much only what you need to know.
Renaming a file from File Explorer saves.
So it's going to do that, as well as you walk through how to do it. So it's telling me what I'm doing while I'm doing it. It's going to tell me right-click this thing here. I'll right-click it. Click here to rename. Click to rename. Then I select the box. It's going to take me step by step, and click sales. Press enter. It's very detailed. It's going to say practice complete. Next one is apply. This is the 3rd step of it. This one, it's not going to give you a big rundown. It's going to say, hey, I want you to rename this file. Rename it. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. You're just going to do it. And once you do what it says, you're going to get that complete check mark. Keep in mind, you're going to know how to do some of these things. If you already know how to do it, you don't have to do observe, practice, and apply. The only one you need to complete to get full credit is apply. For example, I know how to rename a file. It's very simple. Right click here, rename it to sales. Bam. Press enter, you get full credit. This is where I want to get to some of the quirks of the system. Because this is not actually Microsoft Suite, it's going to have, it's a web browser imitating it. So not everything's going to work perfectly. And it grades on keystrokes. So for example, I typed in sales. If I press space afterwards and then click enter, it's going to say incorrect. Because the final result is looking at sales with space. You have the extra keystroke in there. which is why everything has 3 attempts. One, you may just click an extra button somewhere. If I could click random letters in the middle, it's not going to matter as long as the end result says sales. But if there's a space in there, it's going to say it's wrong. Take a space out, it's going to say correct. So again, that's why you have 3 shots at all of these. Or say one of the reasons why you have 3 shots of these. One of these is because you can click a button on accident incorrectly. So do keep that in mind. Another thing, shortcut keys may not work very well. So if you're a shortcut key person, I know I am, it may not work properly because this is not the Microsoft browser. This is technically a internet window. It'll execute that shortcut key as if it was an internet window, not as if it was an Excel file or a Word file or a PowerPoint file. So keep that in mind. Some will work, some won't. Another thing, sometimes things happen. Internet crashes, your computer crashes, whatever it is. For whatever reason, this window closes, computer turns off, and you had to restart your system or log back in, and you don't remember where you left off. Well, a lot of times, even if you complete all the way to task 8, for example, and you're doing the last task and it shuts down and you have to restart back up, it will, by default, a lot of times start you on task 1. Doesn't always do that, as sometimes does that. But if you click on these 3 little lines right here, it will have a list of all the tasks that you have completed. So the first one, you see it's green, which means you completed the green check mark. If you see a red X, that means you got it incorrect, incorrect. And if it's blank like this, means there's no record of you trying. So if you're like halfway through a problem or even a few way through, and when you restart it and it starts you on question number 1, be sure to click on that little hamburger looking symbol there and see what that has recorded you on trying. Because it could start you back on question number 1, but you completed all the way to question number 8. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, if you feel like you have completed a problem and it says you're incorrect, and you did indeed feel like you did get it correct, send me an email. Say, hey, I was on Windows Training 10, the quiz, I was on task 4, whatever it may be. That way I could look into the specific situation. Because I could see a screen grab of what you were doing. And it'll tell me exactly where you clicked and all that fun stuff. But keep in mind that I could only see that after you have submitted an assignment. So you say, hey, I was on task 8 on Windows 10 training quiz. Windows 10 quiz. Unless you submit it, I can't see. So if you don't submit it because you don't want to get that wrong when you did it correctly, you're going to have to submit it. Because I could edit it after the fact. So don't worry too much. However, there are so many questions on here. One question is probably not going to make it break you. But that is an option. Just to let me know as soon as possible, and I'll get on and give me any details as possible as well. Alright, so the next assignment type is the quizzes. The difference between the quiz and the training is, the training will show you step by step what to do whenever you want and get unlimited attempts. The quizzes, you only get 3 times to retake the quizzes, and it doesn't give you step by step. It goes to the apply it stage, like straight to the end. So it tells me what to do, what I need to do. So it says here, it says rename the file PB Kitchens by using guide as a new file name. Guide. Bam. It's going to tell me right or wrong. Next task. Now let's say it's navigate File Explorer, and I do something crazy. I'm clicking random buttons so it can tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I did something wrong. There we go. Incorrect results. So if you get a question wrong for any reason, you have 2 options. One, you can retry the task right now. Maybe I put a space after the cells. So yeah, okay, I know I did wrong. Put an extra keystroke. I got the wrong spots. I can retry again right now. Or I know how to do it and I hit the wrong button. Or if I'm like, hey, I got that wrong, not sure why. You can always come back to the question later. Go to the next task. It'll go through all the questions in order, and once you had one attempt on every question, then it'll cycle back for a second attempt or a third attempt, depending on what you clicked, back to the other questions that you've missed. So if you click reattempt, you can do it later, or do it right then, or you click the other option, you can do it again later. So it will bring you back automatically to make sure you get all your attempts if you got it wrong. And keep in mind, all of these have different sections, so you can see there's quite a bit of assignments. There's another reason why I don't want you to wait till the last minute. So you can see two more types of assignments here. One, the capstone project, and two, the unit exam. The capstone project. Do not confuse this with the project that's in eCampus. That's a different project. I will talk about that at the very end. The capstone project, I would think of this as the study guide for the, or study review for the exam. This is pretty darn close to the exam. Same kind of questions. You can see the exam, same format. But this way you can kind of go in there and see if you're ready. So if I go in the capstone project and say, oh, I did horrible at a capstone project. Okay, let's go back to some of these trainings. We do these trainings. There's a certain topic that you were missing a lot. Again, go back and redo those trainings, or maybe read the book, one of the two, or maybe both. But the trainings will tell you everything you need to know, and it's going to look just like the quizzes. Same way it's going to work. Capstone projects, you have unlimited attempts. The final exam is going to be like the capstone project, but you only can attempt the exam one time. Each you have 3 attempts on each question, if needed. We're going to attempt the exam one time. Big disclaimer on the exam is the exam, once you open it, you must finish it in the same setting. So once you click open an exam, make sure you have a good internet connection. Make sure you allot yourself plenty of time to finish that exam, because otherwise, if once you open it, you have to finish it. If you stop it, your internet cuts out, it automatically submits. Versus like the capstone project, the module quiz, the training can start and stop anytime. That goes for everything except for the exam. The exams in the final exam, once you start it, you must finish it. Another disclaimer real quick is if you have, hold that thought. So it's a fast moving course. You see here that it has a due date of July 13th for this specific assignment. Keep in mind, at midnight every single night, especially or midnight on the nights that something is due, Cengage will submit all of the assignments that are open. So for example, this window module 1 quiz is open. As soon as that July 13th, just before midnight happens, it will submit the assignment. So if you're halfway through the assignment, it will submit it. Which is not that big of a deal for the modules and the trainings. The trainings you could go, not that big of a deal. It only happens on the due date of an assignment. Where it does matter is for your exams. Do not start an exam just before midnight, because it's going to submit it at midnight on the due date. So like July 20th, do not start that exam. Or July 20th, do not start Unit 1 exam at midnight or just before midnight. You want to start it maybe like at 8, something at ample time. Or if you're a night owl, wait till July 21st at 12:01 a.m. to start it, so it doesn't automatically submit at night. So I want to give that disclaimer as well. And if you're still confused by that, be sure to go ahead and send me an email. We can start talking, and I can kind of clarify anything. Anything in this video, you have any questions, ask. Anything in syllabus, ask. This is an extremely fast-paced course. Do not wait till week 3 to ask me a question. If you have a question on week 3, please do ask me. But I'm saying if you have a question on day 1, do not wait a few weeks to ask me, because the course will be almost done at that point. I want you to ask sooner than later. if that makes sense. Ask questions anytime you think you have a question. Ask it right then, right there. I don't want y'all to fall behind. So the same thing with the exam. The exam is comprehensive. It works like exam 1 through 4. It's just comprehensive. Those capstone projects are still open. All that's still open. So be sure to check those out. Again, ask me any questions as soon as possible. I'm going to jump into eCampus real quick. So on eCampus, if you go to content, go to the first assignments, it'll give you a breakdown of everything that's going on. Unit 1 also have links to Cengage here individually. It's just easier than Cengage to go straight into Cengage. If you go to down here to capstone project, that's just that assignment project. But this is the one I was going to say is a little different. It's a team project. This team project is going to be an individual project for this course. Just because it is summer classes, it's going to be hard to get in teams to go real quickly. It's going to be easier to do this individually. And I'll kind of go over more details of this real quick. Basically, you're going to make an Excel, PowerPoint, Word, or whatever the actual document is, using all the skills that you learned in Cengage. So you're going to answer these questions. You're going to basically make a business plan for a business. You're going to choose what your business is going to be. The first one's a PowerPoint project. So what your business is going to be, you can answer these questions. What's the nature and mission? Why is this basically a good idea? Where it'll be located? What is the cost of the business? So you're going to want to do all those things in that PowerPoint as well. So be sure to read through that so you can understand all of the requirements there. And you're going to post it here in discussion. And we'll do some discussion questions on it. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'm probably going to send a little more reminders as we go through the course on the new section of the course. So be sure to keep a close eye here. The exam 1 password is BCIS 1305. Again, I put more information in there. The password for the exam is the same for every single exam in the course. So to keep that in mind. That's why I have it pinned at the top. I have other new announcements there as needed. If you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to email me. The syllabus, if you haven't found it already, will be here, or if you click on content, it's an orientation, I believe, course syllabus and documents. I will have an updated syllabus here when the class starts. So, alright, that's all I have for now. I know I did a quick rundown of the course because I want you to hit the ball running immediately when it opens up. And again, do not hesitate. Ask me questions you have as soon as possible. Send me an email. We can set up a meeting if needed. I just don't want y'all to fall behind. So, good luck. Enjoy the rest of your summer after this. When you're not working on the course, just enjoy. Shift F9.